At my wedding reception, after screaming that I had trapped my husband, my mother-in-law tried to grab the mic again, sobbing, "I didn't mean to ruin anything, I was just mad she got the wedding I always wanted." She thought crying would save her, until she blurted out, "I even tried to bribe his ex to crash the ceremony." Guests gasped as she realized what she had said. The best man quietly played security footage of her meeting that ex at a coffee shop. She was dragged out screaming as half the guests started posting the story online, and she became a viral cautionary tale overnight. I'm still shaking even as I write this. I didn't plan for my wedding to turn into a public takedown, but looking back now, I realize the signs were there for months, maybe even years. My mother-in-law, Valerie, has always had this weird hold over my husband, Dylan. She's the kind of woman who thrives on being the center of attention, and when she isn't, she finds a way to change that. Let me back up. Dylan and I met 5 years ago in Spokane, Washington. I was a second-grade teacher at the time. He ran a small auto repair shop with his cousin. We were simple, grounded people. Nothing flashy, nothing dramatic. We just fit. I'd dated guys before who were all about the chase. Dylan wasn't like that. He was calm. Kind. Steady. His mother, on the other hand, was a walking soap opera. The first time I met her, she smiled through gritted teeth and said, "I just thought Dylan would end up with someone taller." That pretty much set the tone for the rest of our relationship. Every time we saw her, she found a new way to remind me I wasn't Sasha, Dylan's ex-girlfriend who, according to Valerie, could have been a model if she wanted to. Sasha. Always Sasha. She brought her up so often I started wondering if Valerie was trying to get them back together. Dylan always brushed it off, saying his mom was just stuck in the past. But I knew better. When Dylan proposed to me at the end of 2023, we decided on a May 2025 wedding. Small, nothing extravagant. Just friends, family, good food, and dancing. Valerie was quiet at first, too quiet. I thought maybe she was finally accepting it. That was my mistake. The sabotage started slow. She tried to book the venue on our behalf and chose a completely different one across town, a grand ballroom with chandeliers and a staircase that looked straight out of a bad soap opera. I shut it down immediately. Then she tried to convince Dylan that I should wear her old wedding dress, a massive, lace-covered thing from 1986 with puffed sleeves and a 10-foot train. When I politely declined, she didn't speak to me for a month. That's when the guilt trips began. "She's just hurt," Dylan said. "Her marriage ended badly. She never got the wedding she dreamed of. She just wants to feel involved." So I let her help with the flowers. She tried to change the whole theme. I let her come to one cake tasting. She said the bakery I chose was too basic and tried to replace it with a fancy French pâtisserie she saw on Instagram. I started to realize she wasn't just trying to feel involved, she was trying to take over. And when she couldn't do that, she switched tactics. The day before the wedding, I overheard her in the hallway at our rehearsal dinner. She didn't know I was around the corner. She trapped him, she hissed to her sister. Got pregnant just to lock him down. Which was a total lie. I wasn't, and still am not, pregnant. I told Dylan what I heard. He confronted her. She cried, said she didn't mean it, said she was just scared of losing him forever. He bought it. I didn't. So I started watching her closely. What I didn't know was that our best man, Ben, Dylan's cousin and longtime best friend, had also been paying attention. He saw Valerie meeting up with a woman at a coffee shop in early May. He thought the woman looked familiar and snapped a photo. It was Sasha. Yes. That's Sasha. He didn't say anything right away, he wanted to be sure. He followed up with the coffee shop owner, someone he knew through work, got the security footage, and confirmed it. Valerie and Sasha met for over an hour, and Valerie handed her a small envelope. They were both smiling. Ben told me about it 2 days before the wedding. I told him to hold on to it. We might need it. Turns out, we did. The wedding day started calm. Too calm. Valerie showed up early in a pale gold dress, not quite white, but close enough to make a statement. She made sure to walk around the venue greeting every guest like she was the one getting married. But she kept her comments light. Smiles. Hugs. Polite laughs. Fake as hell. I stayed out of sight most of the day, trying to focus on what really mattered, marrying Dylan. The ceremony itself went off without a hitch. I walked down the aisle. Dylan looked like he was trying not to cry. We said our vows. We kissed. Applause. All the stuff you dream of. I thought maybe, just maybe, the drama was over. Then came the reception. We did our first dance. We cut the cake. We were just about to start dinner when someone handed Valerie a mic. I don't know who gave it to her. Maybe one of the servers. Maybe she took it herself. All I know is that 1 second the room was buzzing with chatter, and the next, her voice was echoing through the speakers. I just want to say a few words, she began, standing in front of the sweetheart table with tears in her eyes. Dylan looked at me. I gave him a calm nod. I wanted to see where this was going. She sniffled into the mic. It's just hard. Watching your only son marry someone you barely know. The room fell silent. She kept going. I'm not saying she's a bad person, she said, waving toward me. But she didn't grow up with us. She doesn't understand our family. A few people awkwardly chuckled. Most stayed quiet. I always thought he'd end up with someone different, she said, her voice rising. Someone ambitious. Someone who didn't trap him into marriage. Gasps. She turned to me, eyes wild now. Don't act like you didn't plan this. He wasn't going to propose until you backed him into a corner. That's when Dylan stood up. Mom, sit down. But she wasn't done. I didn't mean to ruin anything, she said, starting to cry. I was just mad she got the wedding I always wanted. Silence again. People were shifting in their seats. Some had their phones out. I just wanted to feel like I mattered, she sobbed. I even tried to bribe Sasha to crash the ceremony. She covered her mouth. Too late. You could feel the whole room freeze. Forks stopped moving. Someone in the back gasped out loud. A little girl asked her mom, "Who's Sasha?" Valerie looked around like she'd just realized where she was. I didn't mean, that's when Ben stood up. He walked calmly to the DJ booth, nodded to the guy running the sound, and plugged in a flash drive. Seconds later, the big projector screen behind the dance floor lit up. It was grainy footage, but clear enough. Valerie sitting across from Sasha in a downtown coffee shop. The timestamp said May 3rd, Sasha laughing. Valerie passing her a white envelope. The two of them hugging. People started murmuring. Someone yelled, "You're disgusting," from one of the tables near the front. Valerie ran toward the DJ booth screaming, "Turn it off! Turn it off!" Two of Dylan's cousins stopped her. One was a sheriff's deputy. They didn't touch her, just stood in her way. Valerie turned back to the crowd, tears streaming down her face. I did it for him. I did it for my son. No, Dylan said, stepping forward. You did it for yourself. The room exploded in whispers, then full-on talking. Phones were out. Cameras were recording. And there she was, standing in the middle of her son's wedding reception, mascara running down her face, sobbing. Security came. She refused to go. She screamed. Cried. Tried to grab the mic again. They finally escorted her out through the side doors, still shrieking that she didn't mean to ruin anything. By then, half the guests were already uploading clips to TikTok and Instagram. Within hours, the hashtag started trending. Hashtag monster-in-law, hashtag ValerieGate, hashtag SashaGate. People started commenting that it felt like an episode of Dateline. By the next morning, Valerie was a meme. Clips of her meltdown were all over TikTok. People were stitching her crying face with sound effects. One account made a remix of her screaming, "I did it for my son," set to a club beat. Another spliced her coffee shop footage with a caught in 4K caption. Instagram Reels, Twitter threads, even Facebook moms groups were eating it up. Dylan tried calling her that afternoon. She didn't answer. She did, however, post a 6-minute video on her Facebook page titled, "What Really Happened at My Son's Wedding." It was worse than we thought. She called me manipulative. Claimed I had brainwashed Dylan. Said I had a secret plan to turn him against her and erase his real family. But the worst part? She doubled down on the Sasha thing. "I never paid her," Valerie sniffed in the video. "I just gave her money for her time." That sentence was everywhere by noon. People started messaging me. Old coworkers, friends from high school, even random strangers. "Is this real? Is that your wedding?" By Monday, news blogs picked up the story. Reddit threads. TikTok creators were reacting to the speech, playing the coffee shop video, comparing it to movie villains. Valerie was called everything from the next mommy dearest to America's most hated mother-in-law. I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. Because Sasha came back, and she brought her own bombshell. 2 weeks after the wedding, Sasha posted on her own social media account. I didn't even follow her, but someone sent it to me. It was a photo of the same coffee shop. Same angle, same table. Her caption? "Since everyone's asking, yes, she offered me $500 to show up in a white dress and make a scene. I turned her down. But she didn't take that well." Then she added, what she did next was actually worse. She posted screenshots of messages, texts and DMs, where Valerie begged her to lie. To say Dylan had cheated on me with her. To send fake photos. To post vague captions. Sasha refused. Valerie tried guilt-tripping her, then threatened to cut her off from the family forever. People were shocked. But it didn't stop there. In one of the messages, Valerie admitted that she kept a folder of dirt on me, photos from my old Facebook, screenshots of harmless posts I'd made years ago, even a clip of me singing karaoke at a college party. For emergencies, she said. Sasha exposed all of it. Every message. Every screenshot. The internet turned on Valerie even harder. Comments flooded her old video. People emailed her job. Someone made a change.org petition to get her banned from attending future family events. The hashtag Valerie Exposed trended for 3 days. Dylan was devastated. He apologized 100 times. He kept saying he didn't know it had gone this far. I believe him, but the damage was done. And I wasn't finished. After Sasha's bombshell, there was no coming back for Valerie. Dylan didn't speak to her for weeks. Then he blocked her. So did I. She tried emailing, calling from different numbers, even wrote letters. At first, she was apologizing. Then she got angry again. Said we were ruining her life. Blamed us for the internet turning on her. But we didn't respond. I was done playing defense. So I went on the offense. I wrote my own post. Not a dramatic video. Not a long rant. Just a simple text post with screenshots, dates, and facts. I included Ben's original photo. Sasha's screenshots. Even Valerie's own words from her video. And at the end, I wrote, I married my best friend. I didn't expect our first challenge as a couple to be his own mother. But here we are. This is the truth. I'm done hiding it. It blew up. People shared it. Commented. Sent support. But not everyone was on my side. Some said I should have just ignored it. That I was keeping the drama going. But I wasn't doing it for attention. I did it because I wanted the last word. And I got it. Valerie lost a lot. Her job at a private clinic quietly let her go to avoid disruption. Her social circle shrank. Even some of her extended family stopped talking to her. She became a cautionary tale in wedding forums. Her name was almost a punchline. Don't go full Valerie. Dylan and I tried to move on. But here's the truth no one likes to say, it changed us. 4 months after, every fight we had came back to her. Every time he hesitated before defending me, every time I brought up something he didn't see. It chipped away at us. He was a good man. But he had a blind spot for his mother that never fully healed. 6 months after the wedding, we started couples counseling. It helped. A little. We're still together. But I can't lie and say things are perfect. I got my revenge. Valerie's legacy is one of public shame and loneliness. She tried to destroy our wedding, our peace, and my reputation. In the end, she destroyed herself. But revenge always leaves some scars. And not all of them are visible.